All right. Welcome back. I said we're going to talk about NCAA. I want to touch on something else real quick. All right, now you guys can wait a second because I only get to talk about this on the show once a year, and you can give Casey and I 2 minutes to talk about WrestleMania.
You guys go ahead, put on your sparkly unitards, grab your boas, and talk about some
talk about your...
All right, honestly, WrestleMania is right around the corner. It's sports entertainment. It's Sunday.
It's sports entertainment.
What's your view on the two main events? There's the triple threat match, Angle, Orton, and Ray.
Who do I think's going to win?
Who do you think's going to win that?
It's going to be Rey Mysterio, but only with the fact of Eddie Guerrero passing Rey Mysterio.
Only if he's been training hard enough in the offseason.
Yeah, seriously, with the fact of Eddie Guerrero passing away, they're trying to make Mysterio the new Eddie Guerrero. I see him winning it.
See, I think that's the only reason he's in the main event. I don't think he's going to win it.
And I was talking to somebody about it today. He's still a cruiserweight. You know what I mean? And I think he should always be a cruiserweight.
Fantastic wrestler. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah, I love him. I love him. But I would like to see, obviously I love Kurt Angle and I love Randy Orton. I think they're more heavyweights.
Exactly. I'd love to see Angle retain. If Orton wins, I really wouldn't be too upset, even though Angle's my favorite.
And by the way, Vester, our buddy here at ETV, he's predicted all the matches so far, and I think he's got some great insight.
We'll have to get a pool going.
We should. And then the other main event, the Raw main event, Cena and Triple H.
I want to see Triple H win this.
I don't want to see Triple H win it, but he is.
I want to see Triple H win this. I cannot stand John Cena.
Nobody can. It's a known fact, Charles. Everybody hates him except me. So
Okay, before everybody turns off their TV sets. No, seriously though, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Wrestling is fake.
Obviously.
Okay, obviously. First of all. Second of all, they know who's going to win the matches previously, right?
With the
sometimes only like a couple minutes before.
The exception of the HBK Shawn Michaels incident in Survivor Series a couple years. Well, a couple years.
The incident.
The incident.
So the fact that the whole decision based on whoever wins the championship is based on a management decision, as far as like somebody up here saying you're going to win. Don't you think that kind of takes away from the concept of sport where you compete?
It's sports entertainment. It's not a sport.
I really don't accept. Not being a jerk to you.
No. Go ahead. Because I'm kind of interested. I wonder why people love this.
I don't accept views like that are just sort of like.
Well, okay, here's honestly, you've got a guy up top in this, wherever he is, president or whatever. Let's say Vince McMahon, and he decides not how hard these guys train. You know what I mean? Not how much one guy's put effort in compared to another guy. They're not competing out there. Okay, you see what I'm saying? They're acting. It's like watching a movie.
Here's what I would compare it to, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Basically, like, if you say you're going to a wrestling match, you're kind of going to a sporting event, WWF. That'd be like me saying I'm going to go see Hoosiers the movie.
That's what I was just going to say. It's like
because it's
like
the same kind of
Triple H or whatever.
These guys are athletes.
They are athletes, but they're not competing in WWE.
The guys have to be so athletic to do what they do.
The guys in Hoosiers the movie were actual basketball players. Does that mean they're competing in a sport when they do the scripted movie?
See what I'm saying though? Like, they're not fighting each other. They're acting out a script.
Yeah.
That just kind of bugs me when they fight for a championship and they pretend that they've worked so hard for something and they cry when they lose. But their decision comes from a guy up top who's probably never wrestled in his life or has no idea what they're going through as far as training.
Vince McMahon is built.
Regardless,
through the training.
Is sports when you already know the winner? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's sports.
Okay.
You can't argue that point because I'm on your
but
side.
the fact that you guys watch it and know who's going to win or who's not going to win.
We don't know.
Have no clue.
But somebody does know. That's correct.
Yeah. Like he said, though, it could be a 30 seconds to a minute before the match. You're still going out there. Yeah. Somebody could mess up. You have to. I see where you're coming from. I really do.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's kind of one of those things where you either get it or you don't. Okay. And you really can't argue.
You love it,
one
you
way
hate
or
it.
Another. It's like Casey and I love it. We're trying to put our points. You're trying to put your points across. So they're obviously we're not getting.
And it's good. I think it's
we kind of put the segment in the show just to kind of talk about it. And now it's just kind of
shut up. Yeah.
You want to talk about basketball?
All right. Yeah. Let's move on to a real sport, and we're going to talk about the Final Four. The big story everybody's talking about is George Mason.
Yeah.
I think the big story everybody's talking about is the Final Four.
The Final Four itself, but George Mason.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, especially.
Yeah. What a team. I mean, who saw it coming? I mean, with the exception of John Trainer.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have going. Everyone knows that. No, I looked.
Realistically, John's got Syracuse.
We all did I did not actually, but still, I'm a fan. Anyway, we all did the Facebook pool, and I actually looked on it, and somebody did pick George Mason
to win,
not to win it, but to go to the Final Four, and
maybe
I think they had him stopped at the Final Four. But I mean, what a pick! No one could expect this, and this is the beauty of college basketball. is no one. You never know who's going to be.
And the thing is, everybody's been saying, "Oh, George Mason, they'll lose this round. They'll lose this round." Yeah. They beat UConn. If they can beat UConn, they can beat anybody. They could win this.
Not this year, though. I think in other years past, I think if you could beat a number 1 seeded team, then you're in. But this year, the seeding is so skewed. Like
UConn's already almost lost.
There never was.
They almost lost pretty much every round. And there's a good point. If you go into overtime in the Sweet 16. No team ever who won in overtime in the Sweet 16 has gone into overtime or won their Elite 8 game. And UConn's won in overtime 3 times. So I mean,
this Final Four I think you just said it. I don't think anybody can predict.
That's the thing. And usually every year you've got a team like say, okay, UConn's the best. They'll probably go to the finals, and you can most likely predict that Duke is really good this year. We'll see them in the Final Four. You can this year, it's just up in the air, man. You can go by the seedings if you want to, but it's not necessarily going to come out as we see right in the Final Four.
Let's talk about. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say UCLA. I think you could see them going to the Final Four. Yeah. They've been a fantastic team. Same with LSU, but
I was just going to say let's go by this game by game here. LSU and UCLA. Who do you guys?
Big baby.
I really think this is like the best game of the Final Four. Honestly, this is the 2 most even matched teams, both beating people consistently. Maybe should have been ranked higher in the tourney. So I see this one being the closest game.
Who's winning?
I got LSU. Winning. Basically, it's going to be guards versus forwards. LSU's just got too much power, man. Too much
and they're getting pretty confident. Like, they don't seem cocky at all by any means, but they seem much more confident.
When you beat Duke, not close, you destroy Duke and just basically wreck them down low. That makes a statement. And
I saw JJ. He was pretty much, how he's like the go-to guy. He's kind of giving the ball. He's driving in the lane and he's getting swatted. I'm talking. The man there's just like throwing a ball away. Like, don't even come close.
No, these guys.
They look very like
these guys are tough.
Yeah, composed. I should say against the Duke team, who you think maybe be a little bit intimidated. They were very, very much ready to play this game.
I definitely got LSU too.
So who do you two take on this one?
LSU.
Yeah, I like Big Ben.
So do I. And then George Mason of Florida.
Check it out. Florida. Here's the deal. We see a total dismantling of George Mason because they've had about a week to figure it out. It's about a week now. It's set in. They've got the hype. You know what I mean? They're going to turn around and say, we probably really don't belong here. I'm calling this right now, and they will get. I'm calling exactly. And they'll get destroyed.
I think I compare Florida to Duke because they got one tremendous guy down low, and they got a shooter very similar to J.J. Redick who can hit almost any shot. But I'm still giving this to George Mason just because, you get a team going that far with that much momentum, all they're thinking about now is don't lose the game, period. I got George Mason. And as much as you think Florida's going to win, I still got Florida, taking advantage.
I think Florida might win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if George Mason
I got George Mason.
So, all right, that being said, real quick, who do you think is going to win the tournament out of these 4 teams?
These 4 teams, LSU.
I got George Mason, LSU, and I got LSU winning.
Florida.
Good choice.
All right, I'm going to say LSU too.
Good choice.
All right, that does it for us. Little something different this week. I always spat out the email address, etvgameface@yahoo.com. If you actually want to come down and be on the show, we're looking for some new faces.
New people.
We're looking for
Or you can stop down at our office at Miller 103, right?
Yeah.
Miller 103. Stop down anytime. There should be somebody there. If not, the schedule is on the door. When people will be there.
There's people always in the office. Come down, say your name, say what's up, just hang out, and we can definitely find you a spot on the show if you want to be on.
We look forward to seeing you. That's all for us.